To the preview of Randwick Racing on Cox Plate Day. Aaron Macy out of the saddle, Mark Lambourne, there you go.
He's here, he's back.
He's back, that's right, yeah, you're here.
The Houdini.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it do justice to the Cox Plate Day?
No, it doesn't, no. It's one of the, again, we have a substandard Randwick meeting where the okay races haven't got enough runners in them, and the races that do have enough runners in them are awful if there is a case of that. But anyway.
It's substandard, this is the new standard.
Well, that's right. Yeah, orange is the new black.
Yeah.
But isn't it because we keep racing at Randwick? We've had 4 weekends.
It could probably. I was thinking that as well too. That you're racing at Rosehill provides a different flow for your different distances, a different.
Do you think that's what it is?
Different
Well, it could be.
Could it just be that we've had like 7 meetings where all these horses in the last week?
Yeah.
They've all been able to go. I got Canterbury tonight.
Yeah,
We've had
yeah.
the midweek. We've just had too many meetings.
Too much racing, but yeah. Once again, it comes down to fantastic management. But everything is going good, boys.
No, that's good. That's good to hear, Dal. You know, just as long as everything's
Great. All right. What is great too, Mark, is that we're going to have an underrated track on Saturday. They're saying a soft 7 at the moment. We came off a fast track on Saturday. They had 9 mils overnight, making it, what, about 14 for the week or thereabouts?
14.2.
Yeah.
You can't get to a 7 with 14.
It's impossible to. The track has been firm. You walk around there. The track is nowhere going to be near a soft 7. It's not going to rain again between now and Saturday. No, I know what it is. I know what it'll be.
I did drive past it, and all the inner tracks were underwater.
Yeah, but that's always the case at Randwick. It cannot be raining for 47 days at Randwick and those there because it's the underwater water table or whatever. They're always those tracks are always dampish. It doesn't mean the course proper is.
Well, it'll be a 4 and be called a 5. That's what we'll end up with.
I reckon they'll try to start off with a 6.
No, I mean, I'm saying, like that.
Yeah.
Eventually they'll say, oh, well, this is a 5.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
But it will be a 4.
Yeah, somewhere between there and there. Anyway, and that will mean, though, that the lanes will be absolutely in play because that sort of drying track in the dead range means lanes. I wrote an article on this saying it was about a 3 to 4, but with the fluky rain there, and really probably got 4 more mils than you would have expected yesterday, I suppose.
Yeah, it got less than I anticipated.
Oh, less than anticipated?
Observatory Hill got more rain.
Oh, well, when I wrote the article, it was halfway through the day yesterday, and it got through with only 2. So I thought, to get 8 between that point and there. Anyway, that's what it is. You're saying 4, bingo. There it is. Not as bad as a 7. No, beautiful. All right, let's go. Race 1, 1400 metres. It is. Actually, before we do that, tournaments, Aaron. Tournaments.
Yeah,
last chance. Is it Derby Day 100k or 100k Derby Day? What's the hashtag?
I'm not sure. It's one way or the other.
So I'll say it's Derby Day 100k.
I believe 5 people won their way into it last week.
Last week, that's right. So you've got 2 options to win your way into the massive tournament on Saturday week on Derby Day. Which are the 2 options are tonight at Moonee Valley and tomorrow at Moonee Valley. Both tournaments are $100 buy-in. Both tournaments, depending on how many people get you a ticket into the $1,000 tournament next week for a guaranteed win of $60,000. So prize pool of 100 guaranteed next week. So win your way through. The more people in, the more tickets that are available. You estimate 3 or 4 might win their way through tonight, and probably about 5 or 6 tomorrow. So it's a very good way to sneak in the back door. And only have to pay $100 to get in, as opposed to $1,000 to give yourself a chance at the big tournament.
And I imagine they're more attractive cards than I'm looking at for Randwick.
They are slightly more attractive cards. Although, in saying that, though, the 18 race card at Moonee Valley does spread it a little bit thin as well too. So they're not all geniuses in Melbourne as well either. So yeah. Anyway, tournaments tonight would be a great way to do it actually. If you're having, rather than sort of get too involved too much, you can just tournament up.
I actually don't mind the look of tomorrow down there. But I think they've half ruined the Cox Plate card by having the night before.
Yeah, exactly right. But anyway, that's not going to tournaments, Aaron. Tournaments.
Oh, sorry, tournaments.
Yeah, lovely. So just go to you click through off the Punter Show. There's a couple of top better banners there that you just go through and away you go. If you haven't got it, there's also a great article on the site that'll be amongst the top articles there that you can just click through and read and get a bit of information if you're not too sure what we're talking about. When we're talking about tournaments, you'll get a good guide from that. So, but get around it. They're great fun, and it's a great way to win potentially $60,000 in the next couple of weeks.
It is the way.
It's brought something to the game
that's right. You're not trying to get on with a corporate.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Yeah, you're having, and it's good fun, good clean fun. Timeless Prince is $7 in the first at Randwick. Winetails is in the third race, isn't it?
Yes.
Redoubtable Heart, even money, and Bold Circle, Lampedusa, $6.50, $7.50, Fig Tree, $5. Mark, who accidentally leads?
Well, Peter Moody used to have Lampedusa, and it never really had that much pace back then. But I mean, it's been on speed in shorter races in the country for Brett Kavanagh, and I imagine that from 6 of 7, or from the gate 5 of 6, it finds itself in the van. Fig Tree is a bit of a mad puller that got cuddled away from gate 1 the other day, but out wide he
Has it gone blind? Sorry.
Anyway, he's a chance to be part of the action. Bold Circle has been freshened up. Won't be far away. Redoutable Heart poking along the inside. The other two certainly out the back. Timeless Prince inside. Excited Prince. The two princes.
The princes. All right.
Driving the field.
Okay, Aaron, what do you have to say about
This exciting state of affairs.
And we probably slow.
Has he won 2 races yet? No, he has. He actually hasn't won an outright race yet. Redoutable Heart. He dead heated with Gaze on first up in that. In fact, they've cut the horse out. Because I backed Redoutable Heart when he won first up on the inner track 12 months ago.
Okay, yeah.
And it was he shared the win with something that.
What's it called?
Oh,
How?
it was a thing of Gaze that rolled forward and kept bobbing.
No.
Yeah, it's disappeared.
Aaron.
It has disappeared. Yeah, he was the horse I found on top, but finding it very hard to take evens. One thing with him, I think he's one of those Waller horses. He's not got overly a lot of ability, but he does look to have improved. He's one just making that slow progression, and I thought he looked like he'd come back a better horse this prep.
Right, so he's got prospects, is he? He's like...
no, he has not got prospects.
No, he's not progressive?
No,
he's just going to be one of those Waller horses.
No, but like he's improved from a midweek horse to possibly a Saturday horse.
Is it possible? He did have to do a little bit there first up, and his second up record doesn't read well. There's potential a little bit.
Like he's run second in a Group 3 here.
Good.
He's really stepped up to the plate.
Beauty. Though this looks like it's going to be a 400 metre sprint. Is he going to be able to sprint as well?
He could be one that does actually roll forward, I thought. From
still
the
going to be,
draw,
but
the low draw.
We're still going to be a 400 metre sprint. What are we saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we saying
How
about
does
Bolt?
that help him on this track? Like given that obviously that in the smaller fields you don't have to worry so much about the inside draws not being able to get in the lanes. But gate 1, if he moves forward, then he's got things like harassing him on the outside. It's like
that's why I'm finding it very hard to take
for a horse, as you said, that's had half a win, and on your theory, it looks like he has to do something different to win. It does, it's only an even money by default price.
Jesus, there's not a chance in hell of people taking even money.
I wouldn't have thought so. And Bold Circle, the horse that I think that you like there, Mark, that I'm just looking over your shoulder, may have the better 400 metre sprint, and that looks like this race is a 400 metre sprint race. It's Jesse Owens' day on Saturday.
It's a vexed race, but I imagine that. I keep looking at Bold Circle's last run, going, well, okay, there's nothing, but there's some.
Well, he's only coming.
Something happened at the start, and he blundered, and I assume that somehow put a line through his run. But anyway,
it's a 10 length easier race. This race that he's in today, I think.
Well, 3 starts back, he's got a run that marks him favourite in this race. So
my only query is he's by
Bernardini,
and I think the track will be a little bit wetter than you guys are saying. And
that's because you've seen those puddles.
You've seen those puddles. You told me that last week too, Aaron.
I did.
And what did they run for the 1100s? 1-2?
The track was fast last week.
Yeah, no. But you said to me when it was there, you said, there's got a bit of rain here. And because you said to me you're at track work and you saw it wet, and I said, don't worry, that's what's around me. And I said, it'll be a good 2. So you've got 2 people over here that get it right most times. Now, do you want to go or what?
He's still allowed to have an opinion.
One thing that you are forgetting though is this is what the 4th week of racing on it. That's been chopped up. That and then back to
that if anything helps it dry out.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, back to the horse.
I do agree with you though. It is better on the dry.
It is Rock, yeah. I think Rock Hard is its best go, which is slightly, and the horse is a little bit mad. And if it's a slow field, a small field going slow, it could be a slight query.
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon that might be okay because it's just if it's a 400 metre sprint, it's got the best 400 metre sprint. They're all going to be close enough to let down.
Yep.
All right.
I thought Timeless Prince was one that was interesting. He won off a very similar setup last time. just got beaten 6 first up, did nothing out the back. He sits there, small field, they go slow, and he can sprint well off a slow pace. And he's going to most likely he's going to be circling the field and coming out to the better part of the front.
All right, okay, that's race 1. I could entertain Bold Circle.
And that's how desperate we are, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that's how desperate is that?
Exactly. Anyway,
it's like you've seen a favourite that you can't stand.
Yeah,
You know,
can win.
He's the sort of horse that you're only going to entertain in a race where he's sort of like going to be 10 to 1.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, he's just
That's one of his.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm redoubtable heart in time of sprints, but don't want to take evens redoubtable heart.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think that's a fair enough call.
Race 2 for the 2-year-olds. We've lost 2. Some chance of a 1-horse race.
They've gone down to the Inglis race, I assume.
Yeah, I think so. Incredible Witness has, for sure, and Twist Tops. Twist Tops in there? Yes, it's down there too.
Out as well.
Even money, they're about start turn. $5.50 Savina. Chipanda, first starter for Johnny O'Shea, $2.40. Radio.
Right, well, we've got the two horses that finished alongside each other a fortnight back, and a Godolphin filly that's trialled very well at home. So, you know, it's got some interest. I mean, Start Turn looks like a horse that will benefit from his experience. Zafina perhaps less so. As I say, this filly did some nice things in its trial, but it was at home, and it does have gate 1 here, whatever that will mean. I think the other interesting thing is that the stablemate to the shorter price filly, Medaley, scratched from Wednesday, turns up here in the hood.
Okay.
But look, I'm prepared to give number 1 another chance. I imagine there'll be some school of thought that's not.
Yeah, well, as you said, it's filly is trouble at home. It's sort of, you need a little bit more than that, don't you?
No, I'm talking about the 1.
The 1.
Yeah.
Oh, the 1, Start Turn. Well, Start Turn. Its price was inflated off people thinking that Barrow Trial was a better time than... I think there was a couple of schools of thought there at that time that it was a smashing time, but I'll go back to what we had, and our time was 2 lengths below benchmark, and it's run 2 lengths below benchmark, so I think we were not bad on.
But does it have scope? It
has some scope. Oh, it does, and it's probably the rightful favourite, but I don't think it is a Start Turn.
No.
Pardon the pun.
No.
Aaron?
No, well, I didn't like it going into the race.
No, because you made the point it
pushed
got the shit flogged out of it.
Yeah, it looked awful.
Yeah.
So what do you want to say about it in
can
relation to
improve?
this?
Okay.
Yes, it can improve, Aaron.
and it's got race experience
Yeah.
over the 2 unraced ones. So I want to spend more work because I haven't had a good enough look at the 2 triallers down the bottom. But I am not excited to bet in a 4-horse 2-year-old field.
No, exactly. It's 5-horse anyway.
5-horse.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, they did I can't understand the programming. We've never ever seen a 2-year-old midweek race before December.
Oh, they sort of said to Aaron, I thought that's a
And
bit strange.
and let's just drag away a few fillies from Saturday.
It's ludicrous, isn't it?
And that's why we have a 5-horse
5-horse field. Yeah. Duh.
Beautiful program.
Anyway, all right. So, in other words, we're not really pumping anything from the trials. We're not really pumping anything of the race runners. There it is.
You like the top one a little bit, by the sounds of it.
Yeah. I'm prepared to, I'm prepared to be in his corner. I think he's got a few fillies to beat up. But I mean, having said that, he struggled with the fillies 2 weeks ago. So.
All right. Anyway.
And filly beat the Colts last week. So.
Now, is there no scratchings early this morning? I forgot to look.
Nancy's the only other one.
Oh, Nancy's that, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well. All right. Rock Sturdy Frespinol around about the $455 mark. Casino Dance at the same price. Foreign Prince has got its head in front and favourite probably at about $4, and Winetails around about $4.20. So they've just said do your best.
It's an interesting race. There's only 7 to go round, but and obviously Foreign Prince has drawn out. Perfect draw to lead. I imagine the Frespinol sits handy tomorrow. And Casino Dancer sitting third.
Yep.
The new mare with the blinkers on.
New mare with the blinkers on.
Mm-hmm. New mare with a
Now, you must have salivated at the prospect of seeing Rock Sturdy here, Dal, you know, down and back.
down and back on the back up.
Not doing a great deal last week either.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, you spoke to Joe Pride. What, he sort of didn't think it really got around Caulfield all that well?
Yeah, he said he's kind of happy with the run because he knew where his fitness levels were. He said he didn't handle the turn. He's hit the line okay in the race. It was won by the leader.
Yeah.
So its run he thought was a pass mark.
Yeah, and Warren almost replicated the same thing that we've been saying about the horse. Looks outstanding, but another run. It'll come good eventually.
Well, he's a big boy that tends to take a little bit of work to get.
And he is one that, despite the track being a heavy 10, according to some, it wants good too.
Yeah, good. He gets through mud.
As I said to you on the phone last night, I'd like to see him out of the race so I don't have to think about him. You know, put up slow 6, Joe says no thank you, and get him out of it.
Yes.
What, do you think he'd scratch it?
Yeah, if it's wet.
He said if it's wet, he said he'll likely not run, save him for something else.
Yeah, so wet will be defined on what they say the track is, Mark. All right, so, yeah.
Next.
All right, well, look, I'm sort of keen to oppose top and bottom here and and be in the Frespinol Casino Dancer camp. And Foreign Prince, he's had the 28-21-7, which looks good.
Yeah.
But just was a little bit hollow last week, I
He
thought.
paraded only fairly too. He didn't.
Got a little bit hot late with the look of improvement.
Yeah, so it might mean that he's going to improve with the run, or it might be he means he's on the way out as well too, because he has been up. I mean, it's whilst his gaps,
he's not.
I think
there's a few runs
he's
there.
one horse though that is better jar out.
Yeah, definitely.
So if it is that dead for long, it's not rock hard, and I think he lets down better on it. So that's got to be a big plus for him. But I couldn't find him either.
No. So you're.
I'm 2 and 5. I think that the 2 has done all that you could ask of him in 2 runs back, and he's sitting up there third up, same course and distance, Casino Dancer, who ran through that line in that torrid race, and well done, by the way. I forgot to mention on Monday's show about targeting Orion Love as not being able to complete the course off that race, which she did.
Plenty of people wanted to say she would. Gee, she was the best background of the day, wouldn't she?
Well, that's because she's running
such an enormous race. Yeah, exactly right. Enormous race, but a dangerous race.
Yes.
Well, this is interesting because I think Winetails is close to a moral.
I'm with Aaron and Vera Miller.
Right, okay. That's
right. It's a win-win situation for me. I can oppose her. She gets beat. I win.
And she gets closer to Vera
I oppose
Miller.
her. She wins, and she's a
superstar.
Yeah. We'll just finish on Casino Dancer. Do you think your best has come from rock hard tracks?
Oh, look.
Something's going on, no?
Yeah, there's a few greyhounds up there chasing a rabbit.
Yeah. Well, they don't normally chase them, Mark. They're normally tied to a rope.
Well, look, it can't be argued that she did what she did a fortnight back on a hard track.
Yeah, and I think the best couple of previous references are that rock hardness. Not that she can't go on it, but
Right, so we're in Winetails camp tomorrow because there's.
Well, let's just go through this. Let's just go through this. T. Wolfram, TUA, B. Spriggs, R. Hutchings, W. Costin, J. Taylor, B. Abdullah.
Yeah, that's good. He's the best rider in the race. I can see that.
Lane, I mean, I know he's to a barrier too, but he'll be in the lane because
She's going to go back. My biggest thing is it's a bit like when She's Clean come back the other day in the small field at Randwick. There was no pace. She sat behind them and she sprinted better than them.
Yeah.
I think she's a horse that keeps running into trouble. She ran into trouble last start. She probably should have finished a length and a half closer.
She ran into trouble at acceptance time when Afrad was behind her.
Well, yeah. But she's a horse that obviously runs into trouble in big fields. Things go wrong for her. So it's a small field. She sits there. Abdullah sits. He pulls out. She sprints better. She wins. You go and collect your money.
Well, then we can move on to race 4 then.
Yeah, I'm with Aaron with that. But
I think Rock Sturdy's highly scary because I do think he's by far the best horse in the race with Ryan.
My play, all things being equal, in the prey, and she does also get a tick going back with the sting out of the ground too. My play will be backing Winetail, saving Rock Sturdy, but hopefully Rock Sturdy's out of the race, so I don't have to worry about it. And we can have a good little play with our 6-horse field.
Right. Well, he's cheering Bell and Berrimilla.
Yeah, there you go. Go Berrimilla. Race for, and what you're happy to play those two? You said, or Or
I'm against 1 and 7, and you're for 1 and 7. It's like we're diametrically opposed.
Sir John Hawkwood wins then.
Not out of the race, Sir John.
Yeah,
He's got the capability.
Either.
He's got a capability of running big numbers when he's right. Stable change, obviously. But anyway, race 4 sees Casino Lad $2.90, Happy Clapper $3.20, Dream Choice $5, Better Not Blue $4.80, 1,200 metres.
1,200 metres, a very, very, very interesting stable change in this race. With Riker going to the Peter Paul Marys.
Yes, well, it probably holds the key to the race with the pace,
Seems to
doesn't
be
it?
doing a good job with their horses as well.
That's right, and there's nothing better than seeing them trial like slugs.
Yeah.
That's another
stable,
tick.
yeah. But what's happened to Gage? Is she not there anymore?
Don't know.
The horses have just gone.
They're just got going. Exactly.
There's plenty at the trials.
Oh, mate, we've been the biggest fan clubs of Gays, and
they're gone.
They're just not performing at the moment. No,
But there haven't been any to perform.
No, but even the ones that are there, just
There was only one runner last week.
Yeah, that says a bit.
He went right. He couldn't have done anything.
Yeah,
better than he
exercise.
did.
Well, Freshman all seems to be going good, but other than really him, certainly not going the way.
No, it's not going the way
was.
Gay should be going at this time of year. No, absolutely.
Right now, what Casiano Lad would like tomorrow is Riker to
one of those bunnies you just mentioned.
Riker to and Dream Choice to set the speed. Him tuck in.
You think they'll be aiming for that, won't they? After last time.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. He got forced into the role of leading there because it was a slow race, and there he was, and and Dream Choice just sat on him.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got a fresh Riker out wide who may be willing to do the bidding. Can you, Aaron? Casiano Lad's obviously the key to the race. Where do you stand with him?
I don't know if he's the key to the race in my opinion, but he gets back to not a rock hard track, which has got to be a huge plus. And I'm assuming he will definitely be ridden cold.
If they can.
I think he'll have to. There's two horses that should roll forward. At least one of them should at least sit off them.
Yeah, I know that'll be the aim.
I don't know. I don't really want to come into them now.
Right, so well, send us somewhere else then. Where do you want
Better
to
not
send us?
blue. I'm quite keen on it actually. I think slight cut out of the track, big class. I think he's come back. The horse was a mental case, and I think he's come back. He still is a bit of a mental case, but I think he's come back better. I do think he's come back better, and I like the way he hit the line behind the slow case last start.
Yeah, he's got the right draw.
Yeah, he's got the right draw. She should just sit there on him, just get a nice little card. He should sprint better than the majority of these. That's pretty much where I am.
There it is. Happy Clapper for Patrick.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks highly scary. I've got the feeling that it'll likely need to run.
Possibly.
I know the way.
2 trials.
Why did he just say, well, I'm facing up to a month of wet tracks here, so I'll pull the pin? Is that what he did?
That's what he did. That's exactly what he did.
He of course can't go nowhere.
I
think I think Blake jumped out and just thought this horse isn't going and just put the brakes on and then just
because I mean he
I would have been
more interested in that race.
More interested in backing him first up because he'd only had the one trial. So I think it might sprint.
Yeah, but Pat, with the fact that Pat isn't exactly hard on them early.
No, he's not hard on them.
So the extra, if it was somebody else with 2 trials maybe, but the extra trial with Pat, I'm sort of thinking, not too bad. He could be just better than them. Well, he is better than them. The fact that I want the track better than what you're predicting, Aaron, for what it to be, because he is a definite rock hard track, where he's best going to be. But again, in these small fields here, and if they're close enough, it can be just the pace isn't going to be massive, whatever happens. And if they're close enough, he might just sail down the outside with B. Abdullah aboard again. I mean, Brendan's going to be worth about 55 lengths tomorrow, doesn't he?
Well, he's the target a lot.
Yeah, especially with how Randwick will play, because most of these people will just ignore it, and Brendan on ability will have them
they
covered.
Might not. You could be wrong on that, because if they put it up a 6,
they'll just naturally roll off. Yeah. Sorry.
They could just completely do the opposite. They could all just be getting out.
Just getting into it. Yeah, it's fair call. Anyway, Brendan will be there, so they could just win because it's better than them. Right?
Oh, it's one of the chances. There's the favourite. The query about the favourite. Slightly different surface and differently ridden. Will will that enable it to recover, or does it have issues? And you've got the resumer and the second up at 5 and 7. Throw in the wild card number 4. I didn't like the other 3.
So you got to wait. Why can't Dream Choice just do what it did the other day and win?
I don't see any reason.
Yeah, I think
Probably
I
not.
found it the other day. I was happy with it, and I think he gets a similar setup here.
Probably not as favourable setup.
Yeah,
though.
but the fact that it's not going to be a fast race.
Yeah, exactly right. And his 400 metre sprint's good. Mark, Dream Choice? No, you can't.
No,
Why you can't?
No, I'm not saying. He's just like he's got 2 horses that started shorter than him the other day, and he's got that he had his most favourable circumstance the other day. So
he took the opportunity.
I'm not saying he
saying
can't.
no,
I'm just saying.
No,
I've got 4 horses in front.
Yeah,
3 horses in front of him. Sorry.
Yeah, they're going to take up percentage. And away you go. Beautiful. All right. Okay. Well, I would be probably happy clapper or nothing, depending on how it parades.
Well, there you go. That's your obvious play, isn't it? Because it's a first up horse. It's a talented first up horse with the right rider, and all you need to do is to tick that
box, because he did parade massive first up last time, Aaron, if you remember.
That's why I think there's a chance. And if this track is a little bit testing, it might not suit him.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's right.
But I by far think he's the best horse in the race.
Very nice horse.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm better not blue. So
You're better not blue. Happy with that. All right, race 5 is the TAB Bill Rutledge Tribute Highway over 1,000 metres. And this is the country race. Noble Joey's 480 down the bottom, and they went up $7 the field last week, and probably will do the same, Mark.
And what have you done with the race this week, Dallas? After your experience of last week, hating the race, respecting the fact that it was some sort of betting race, are you prepared to tackle it, or are you just going to leave straight bat it again?
Race 6, Woodham Mandolin, $3.10 if you want me to. You boys can deal with it.
Right, yes.
Johnny Walter can deal with it too.
Well, the thing is that 1,000 metres doesn't excite me because it's drawn together a cleaner looking field. Could have drawn together a better looking country field.
Well, it is a little bit disappointing, isn't it, that field sizes was probably what this race was about as well too, and they've only got 11 for the second renewal.
Yeah.
Of the highway.
Look, I suppose I want to speak about the current favourite, who has got 2 wins at home as a youngster, like a late 2-year-old. Both of them very slowly run. So he's certainly got a question mark.
Yeah, the home. Yeah.
I was hoping it was wet, and I would have just truckloaded the bottom one. Absolutely truckloaded the bottom one. He was bred to be a wet track. I think what he's done's been good. Yes, everything's slow.
He's done nothing wrong. I'm just saying that everyone will get very excited about this horse, and there's no substance to sort of support that. It's a beautiful horse to look at in olden day terms, in the sense that perhaps he would have been disregarded somewhat, and at, let's say, 8-1, you'd be getting excited about its prospects. But in this situation,
they've found it.
Yeah, it's well found, and we're not sure that it's deserving of that well finding.
Being a 2-year-old beating older horses, and an older horse that does go, like Leo's been beaten 4 lengths at Warwick Farm on Wednesday, so that's a midweek standard race compared to the country field that it is moving. So I think there's a little bit of substance there for it. Don't you think? No, you don't like it? I like it. No.
I love that you're arguing that a horse that was beaten 4 lengths gives you substance for a Saturday race at Randwick.
But it's not a Saturday race.
I know it's not, but I like it.
It's a $20,000 bush race at
Back
Randwick.
to the Future, wasn't that? That's where they landed.
Yeah.
Marty McFly, what would have he thought? Anyway.
Yes. That's weird, isn't it?
It's weird, and then Cody's
got a runner. Go Bulls and Bears.
This David Hayes cast off, and it falls in at Wellington, and
good form for Sydney Saturday.
Oh, really?
Anyway, what are we doing, boys?
Well, we're it's the sort of race that you'd be happier laying than backing.
No, okay, so right. What about the top one? I thought it was rather interesting. Missed the kick a long way on a leader bias track.
And beat Higashi 2 starts back.
Isn't it good form for this?
No. Look, I started with Urban Knight, who tailed up Cumbran at Wyong. Surely that's a better reference. Well, you're laughing, but Cumbran is a horse that has City SPs. Higashi doesn't. I guess he doesn't.
Put City SPs for no fucking reason. Like it's wrong. Never lived up to City SPs.
Right, let's move on to race 6.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's just go.
Well, I'm interested in the top one and the bottom one in that race.
The top and bottom.
A little bit of confidence.
We'd, mate, in the Shawshank Redemption, how he had to get out of the jail. Just swim through this shit. All right, race 6, Sydney Markets handicap over 4. With all due respect to Cody Morgan. Wudang Mountain, $3.10. Actually, we haven't got out of it yet, have we? Hand above, $3.60 and $7, $8 and $9 for Cartier Rock, More Than Fabulous and Dwarf Star.
It's an interesting test of the Pearl coming back in distance, draw inside. It's like, Wudang Mountain back to 1400, which might be all right, but loses Bowman as well. At Eagle Strike in the van, Hand from Above is locally trained with 2 wins from as many starts at Kembla and will be on pace. Dwarf Star will find himself on pace, and Secret Prophet, Dal, you may know more about this horse than I do.
Not really, mate.
But looks to have chased a pretty fast pace.
Yeah, it did go fast, yes. Yes, that's what I do know.
So it looks to have had
it was a pack of them, wasn't it?
So Wudang Mountain back along the inside, perhaps suited by the tempo, but not so much by the draw. More Than Fabulous Cockles and Cartier Rock in the back half. So I was interested in one horse in this race, and that's the filly that's third up here, that gets Gun,
Gerald
gets
Ryan.
into a race that wasn't that was some sort of crawl at Canterbury in the 4-horse field.
And her late numbers are very good. And
so 2 starts in races, she's just entirely not suited at. She finds a race where she's suited at. She's third up.
I would have thought 6 to 1's a very sensational price.
It's $8, Dal.
$8.
Yeah, $8.
Okay, it's even better than that, is it?
Yeah, it's $8 and
sensational price.
It's the one that just went smack bang. Look at me.
I thought so too, actually. Yeah. After going through it and hating the race, you just go, hang on, no, this looks a bit obvious.
Yeah, the other horse I'm interested in is Secret Prophet for reasons that I mentioned earlier.
Yep.
Hand from Above, I expect to run favourite in this race, and has done a good job in 2 runs. Got up off the canvas when strongly threatened both times, but has to bring his form to Randwick, despite being trained here. And I'm forced to mark number 1 well in the market, but I'm running away.
Yeah. There's a definite hollowness to Wudang Mountain, isn't there?
Yeah. So that's race 6.
That's race 6. Yeah, I think we're all happy to play Cartier Rock.
Yeah, we don't need to.
No, it's about right, isn't it? Yeah, that's all. Yeah. What price do you think, Mark? It can't be 7 to 1.
No, I anticipate it being 5 to 1.
Yeah, the only ever so slight query is you definitely want the track to be a lot more to what you're thinking for, mate.
By that stage, there is a 30-kilometre nor'easterly line tomorrow too.
Oh, that comes in tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's against leaders as well.
Exactly right. Which is Yep. Canterbury Lease Club handicap, another 1,000-metre race at Randwick, which
they can do them, can't they? I remember.
Such an uninspiring distance.
Was it 5 years ago that they'd sort of only throw a couple down a year?
Yeah, and mainly 2-year-olds. Yeah.
Well, no, the 2-year-olds would start 1,000.
Yeah, but you wouldn't get many, would you? And mainly more midweeks, if there was a midweek at Randwick. But it's an it's one of the more uninspiring distances in Sydney, isn't it? The 1,000 metres at Randwick.
There's something.
Yuck.
Yeah, I see 1,000 and I want to run
field.
Yeah.
They've even failed to manage to do that.
Anyway, Mr. Manhattan is $2.70 in favourite, $6.50 next pick Quartzite, $9 Arugio, hot hit $7. Marker.
It's a talking point horse for the day, I tell you, Mr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Well, because he got sucked through there at Warwick Farm with the rail out a bit. Rail was out 3 on the public holiday Monday, and the race worked for him. Now here, he is drawn out and more than likely beaten for speed, and has to get himself into the race.
Yeah, and second run 1,000.
Kind of looks like a race though where Josh Park could just end up lobbing in this beautiful position.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing in a 1,000-metre race?
That's the
you never feel like. You remember when Boss Lane found the right position in a 1,000-metre race? even then, you know, you scrubbed along and it's
I think that's the thing about the 1,000 metres at Randwick, and probably 1,000 metres. You think you've got it down pat, but every race sort of just pans out differently. They might go really hard and it suits back markers, but then if there's that separation in the middle, you can't get into it.
Yeah.
There's just so many little nuances that go on in them that what should be the best position ends up being the worst position, or you know, was the great position then becomes the impossible position.
They just don't fit.
Like you think Darcy Wood that time, like there wasn't all that much difference between when Darcy Wood pissed in over 1,000 to when he was left behind.
Well, I think it was about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know he went awfully, but from the position he was in, if he was going, there isn't much difference. But he wouldn't have won that race from that position if he was going as well as he was. It's just little things, and that's why these 1,000 metre races are
tricky.
Yeah, they are.
Well, Joe Pride probably poured a little bit of cold water on
from your article,
so,
yes.
Yeah, from the article. He's got a good opinion of the horse.
Yeah.
But he's not saying he's a champion or anything. He thinks he's a nice horse that will move through the grades in time. But he said he's got that slight career of his second up at 1,000.
And why did he say he put it in just because he had to?
I'm assuming the lack of raise just fitted into the program. I'm assuming.
Yeah, he would have been happy with 11, but it's 1,000, so there it is.
There it is.
Courtside.
Well
handled by Christian Wraith in front the other day. It was good.
Yeah, so talk to me about Moonee Valley. Sorry, before. Can I just ask? I've never ever understood what's this obsession with the 955 at Moonee Valley.
What is it? A car.
I don't. Why do they get 955?
Why don't they just make it 1,000?
I don't know why they did
because
that.
it's 955 at the Valley. You wouldn't talk about it if it's 1,000 at the Valley. It's 1,000s everywhere.
Yeah, I can't remember why they
talk about it, but why do we need to talk about it?
I don't know. It probably just brings.
It did come about as a part of the Friday night promotion. So
I think it's smart. Because everyone thinks about the race.
Yeah,
we all remember it. The 955 at the Valley.
It might have something to do with the time or something like that. If you can run this, I don't know. But
I think it is if you can break 955 over. It's something. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what time? What is the course record at the Valley for 955?
I'm not sure. No idea.
54 seconds.
I think it's 54. So it sounds about right. Yeah. Anyway, but it was part of the promotion, and I can't remember where it all started. But anyway, so he's gone benchmark early, and then asked for a 6-length squeeze in the mid, sort of thinking that you can't go too fast over 900 metres. Well, you can, Christian. Bad luck.
Yeah, so
put two swords.
5, 4, 6,
right.
9.
So that was on the 2nd. So 3 weeks is enough, is it? I
think so. Yeah, right, 22 days. Yeah, 1,000 metres should be okay. But still,
it's funny he of course got under. Well, he got under our guard that day when nothing else stood up to perform on that occasion, and then he resumed a bit unwanted at Warwick Farm, had the race shot to bits, and then just. Well, I mean, he sort of.
Floral Insight.
The Randwick win here was a bit of an illusion.
Floral Insight he took a lot of weight off from that day down in the weights and flew home, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it was the 5.5 kilos.
Yeah, it was.
Stone in weight.
Yes, the stone in weight.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm
always learning. So how do you want him ridden here, Dal, given that you have some insight courtside? Because Hot Hit is a chance to drive up underneath.
You'd probably like Hot Hit to go there and him to go there, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Floral Insight was struggling to chase a bit the other day, and Eminent Duke is a horse that can't seem to put himself in any type of sweet running.
Yeah.
He's back from 1100. I thought he's out there doing his best, but wheel spinning a little bit. The race might configure better for a Ruho, who everyone's a bit sick of, but.
1,000 metres is his goal.
1,000 metres is his goal. Yeah, it's
going
about
back
it,
to the
isn't
1,000
And
definitely
drier the better.
Ike and Rock's been reinvented as a sit and sprint horse. I would think he wasn't hopeless. And the horse that I was really interested in, that unfortunately has Kathy, is Quietly Brilliant, who has been freshened up and is scratched from Canberra today.
Well, why do you like Quietly Brilliant, mate?
Well, because he got into a race that Flamboyant last won at Warwick Farm, was heavily backed on that occasion, and it was a very high rating midweek race. It was a race that Floral Insight was able to use to springboard into beating Courtside subsequently. and I just felt that this race would work out better for him. And I like the fact that he's been freshened right up.
Beautiful.
Given that obviously Floral Insider, Ruho, Eminent Duke are just a little bit stale, a little bit. They've seen a little bit too much racing recently.
Yep.
And Mr. Manhattan, he just seems like the sort of horse that just might find himself out of his comfort zone.
Okay. Cool. All right. Lovely. Erin?
No, I just thought he's the best horse and he's not really suited. So
Yeah.
if he was
So
to blow
price
out,
dependent, is
it's
it?
price
Yeah, I
dependent.
think so. Yeah.
There's probably a race on it.
Yeah, because I think as you alluded to, Quartzsight's sort of there, but there's
There's
not much to grab from him, is
The
there?
bottom one's interesting.
No, he gets away with it. He's allowed to, and if he doesn't,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
he sort of makes his own luck, so he's there. But if anything is stepping up on the day, then he's gobbled.
Yeah, that's right. So
He was always like that. Like he set himself up at the provincials as I'm just going to be there and take my chances. But that's why it was such a shock to the system when he turned up on that Saturday, that Anzac Day race on the 12-metre rail, and there he was streaking away at big odds.
Exactly. All right, that's race 7. Race 8 is another one for Bjorn. Hern's-Oak 420, 460 Sabcat, 440 Shiroso. They dominate or thereabouts. Probably better prices than that, but that's around about the mark. A bit more pace in here than the lead up with Sabcat coming up from the mile to 2000.
Yes, and Zayam, who's been kept very fresh, and they signalled their intention to ride a horse off the speed the other day, and Huey took off and used his dourness to advantage, and I can't imagine that there would be
Any different.
Well, I can't imagine it.
The horse always has gone best leading, in my opinion.
It's a one batter at least.
It just needs to get there, it rolls, and when fit can hold on for a while.
Hern's-Oak posied up from his gate, and the next spot is up for grabs and could be taken by Shizozo, who was climbing over Hern's-Oak at the finish the other day. This race drove me mad because Hern's-Oak sort of PR'd the other day, like done, and he's
exactly.
just, like he made a prisoner of the race. He just said, "This is my race."
Yeah.
So, given that he was $9 that day, I'm not excited about the prospect of backing him here. I'm unsure about Sabcat at 2000, I know he's been to 2200 at Scone and he boxed on quite well at 1900 at Canterbury, but
he has tended to over race.
Well, he's the who was our Godolphin horse in the week, a race a fortnight back, Paralitos. He's looking a bit like that here. Dance of Heroes did some weird things in the run the other day, but he's Glen off. Danger is now third up, but does he need 2400? Is that the go?
It looks, it looks that way. It does look that way, because I thought he was a chance in that race, and just when I thought he was going to sprint, he kind of just sat there and plodded.
And then Shiroso made them.
But it wasn't run the suit at the same time.
So it has to run favourite, doesn't it?
Sure, you'd think so. It gets a more favourable tempo.
It looks very well suited at Randwick Rail Truth. There's a horse that's been screaming out for Randwick Rail Truth.
That's right. And with the
Tommy Berry out the back. This is one of these style of horses. I think Tommy does ride
Tommy
well,
should go okay.
He sits there and gets out.
Just goes and away you go. Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing you say, because there is a possibility that helped him the other day, that lack of substance in the race, the dash home, made him look good. I don't know. Do you have something in his history that says he'll stand up?
I think it's probably more so that Hern's-Oak probably gets exposed a bit. If it's A versus B, the faster the pace, the less likely Hern's-Oak is to be comfortable.
He's yet to get a run where he's had a clean shot of them in his last 3 starts.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, there's a query. Maybe he's just being made to look good because they do look good being held up.
Yeah.
This is his chance to show whether he can or not do it.
You got to say though, he paraded awfully first time we saw him. He's slowly progressed, but there's always that worry that if that was the best he'd looked clearly last start. So there isn't a hell of a lot of room to move through.
No, he did it. Yeah, he attacked the line unsuited, I thought. So.
Yeah, no, he's on top, isn't he?
Certainly has to be on top. Yeah, go on.
For me, it was too, but Major's one. I know the setup looks odd, but he seems to be a bit of an oddly trained horse and a horse that gets results being trained that way. I thought its run over the unsuitable trip was very good. Cut out of the track helps. More rain would be very good. And a lot of these horses just been going against each other, and he kind of has formed to some better horses. Like his run to Escardo was quite good when trapped wide in Queensland. His win on the track was awesome, and he's got beaten in that Balmain Boy form, which seems to be decent form at the moment.
Sorry,
It's ticking away.
What suggested that it's decent form?
Balmain Boy, there's been, I'm trying to think of the horses off the top of my head. There's been a fair few winners that have come out from behind Balmain Boy's form.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the Canterbury race, not the Warwick Farm race.
No, yes, Canterbury race.
Yes, that's true. There have been a lot of winners come out of the Canterbury race.
Yeah.
Dawny Perfect.
Dawny Perfect, one of them. Go Dawny.
Go Dawny.
Favourite.
What about the other horse I want to mention is Zarbos.
And that was the second horse. There was two.
One,
It was the next one. I thought its runs behind Music Magnate, Gods and Him were quite good. It just looked like he was slowly progressing. Last start, small field, overstated to be suited, big weight. Comes back down, finds a race where he's most likely suited.
it's got a sense of timing about it, I'd say.
Yeah, but it just looks different to a lot of these other horses. Where they've just been, you can't measure them. I'm looking for different in this race.
No, you can't be discarded there, but unfortunately, the thing that hasn't been different is that form has been prevailing in these races, which is saying a fair bit. Anyway, Shiroso for me
I
for
know. We've seen
Crowswell.
a succession of pooey times and
All that just holding up.
But there hasn't,
But they've been sort of racing. They
Nothing
seem to be
different
racing against each other
coming
with a few less going around week after week. Anyway, that's Shiroso. Has it just got cold?
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah. Okay. Race 9 is the final event of the card, and you said Nancy is out, Mark.
That's correct.
All right. Well, the market means shit. Favourite will be Danish Twist in front of the Special 2 and Rockalicious.
Yeah, it's perhaps fairly wide.
No, before we do that, Mark, you've got a new addition
That's
to
right, I do.
your set.
I do. I was looking around at all the other services, thinking, well, what they don't offer, and something I can offer is a bit akin to the market report that we did previously, where there are suggestions in each race as to which way the market will go. And I must say that the suggestions on opening day on Wednesday were very solid. Very solid. Race 2, the horse I suggested would firm, halved its price. The horse I suggested would blow, doubled its price, and pretty much, there were a couple of horses that didn't firm, but they didn't blow.
Yeah.
And all the blowers well and truly blew a long way.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'd suggest it's well worthwhile looking at. It gives you an extra insight into the sheet that I'm already producing. So
yeah, no, absolutely. From the history of the market report, that's what it's going to be. You're going to probably nail 4 or 5. You'll probably have 1 or 2 neutrals and 1 that goes the other way.
Yeah,
and that equals profit.
Yeah, so I plan on doing that for every meeting that I cover. Where obviously there are existing markets, and I'll suggest I'll suggest backs and lays, but all with a view to actually trading out before the race.
Beautiful. All right, sensational. So that's all part of Mark's sheet, which you can buy for tonight as well too. Canterbury tonight.
Canterbury tonight, Randwick tomorrow, Kembla tomorrow, and then we'll have a recess till Wednesday.
Beautiful. All right. Okay, we were talking about the last race and who does what. Nancy out.
So I had Danish Twist in the van.
Yes.
Ruling Queen has raced well forward since getting the blinkers applied and winning 3 races as such.
Taylor Marshall. Wow.
Zinzan Elsie will be on speed.
Where's Taylor Marshall been?
He's been bobbing around, but not shaking any trees.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, fair enough. There he is.
Well, he rode a winner somewhere the other day, and I just went, Jesus Christ, who rode that? That was wow.
So you looked and then
you
went,
hang on. And I looked and went, Taylor Marshall. I went, wow. And then I've watched someone else watching another race and went, oh God, that person looks awful. And look, it's Taylor Marshall. He's just so hot and cold.
Yeah,
fair enough.
He's a gingerbread man. I think he's hard to catch.
He's very hard to catch.
Yeah, so I've got 3 horses in the van. The others tend to want to race off the speed. Oxford Heart can certainly race forward from her white gate. Special 2 will be handy. Rockalicious will be handy. All Cerise down the inside will be just ahead of midfield. The others back. Dal, I imagine it's not a race that you were getting your teeth into.
Oh, look, I wouldn't have minded Nancy being in the race. It seems to be starting a lot shorter odds than its ability is. So
it's overrated. But
so that sort of probably took me a little bit away from it. I'm a bit disappointed with that because I think, the other, I could have happily opposed to it, but anyway, not to be. But
Aaron.
Not a race that's typically my go.
I was opposing it as well, but it's
With
not
a
a
view
race.
to
I'm not overly keen on the race. It's a horse I always seem to find first up, being Sabrina. I think she's trialled well. I wouldn't be surprised to see her a little bit closer in the run.
Dirty blonde than blonde really, isn't
That
it?
one, yeah. She's been ridden horrendously a few times.
I know, well, the Magic Man off.
It's Magic Man off, but V. Lloyd rode this horse at Randwick one day and possibly could have been hung for a ride on it.
Sandpapering.
So he's definitely got to make up for that ride on her that day.
It does seem like I've got this horse a bit shorter than the market. I've got this horse probably half the price that it is in the market. But it does seem the sort of race, given that we're looking at least a dozen runners, that the inside draw is out of play.
He's not a nice
It doesn't.
He's out of play.
Yeah. And knowing Brody, he's real like fence isn't going to be that bad, and he's probably going to stay there. So, but I'll go back and look at a form. First up last on the Sultry Feeling, it said she's run last. She should have run third in my opinion. Like she's dead set gone through the last 100 metres like this. So I think if she runs third the Sultry Feeling in that race, she'd be
Which
starting
was,
a lot
as
closer
Dal
to
would have
favourite
said subsequently, that was a bad setup for the 1500.
Yeah, exactly. And the overriding factor was Joe. So it's bad.
Anyway, so she's a person of immense interest in this race. Mary Lou resumes at the scene of the crime last time. Anthony Cummings, he's a vexatious trainer, but I noticed that he's found Jay Collett Blinkers back on first up. I thought she was a horse of interest. The Special 2 is a horse of substance that is third up in this race. Zinzan Elsie was one of my horses to follow, and she's drawn a little close to the inside here, but is racing very well. Like Xena has gun. Zelda is racing very well. Harlem Lady was unsuited the other day. So I think there's a bit to work with here.
There's a lot. You practically laboured all the horses that were interesting. In my opinion as well. I thought Harlem Lady looks possibly very well suited. Wide draw, Sam Clipperton looks well suited there. Zelda, if it was 1200, I'd be very, very keen on
I'd say
Zelda.
1300.
Well, 1300, yeah. Like 1400 scares the shite out of me. That run on, I know she keeps looking like she's running on, but when
she wants to smother here. She wants to get smothered, bursting out late.
Yeah. Just 1400 scares the shite out of me. It's actually going from 1100 at Canterbury.
Yeah, but it's at a 1250, back to 11, then up to 15.
It still scares me.
All right, lovely. Well, that's the day.
That's Cox Plate Day at Randwick.
Cox Plate Day at Randwick.
What a juicy, delicious day.
Cox Plate thoughts, boys. Aaron.
I haven't really looked at the ride. I think I'm looking forward to watching it. Although it's a very poor betting race. There's too many chances for my liking.
Not according to Dallas, who
Island Reel wins.
Yeah, well, the money through the weeks.
And I think $5 is still a fair price.
So this is the Adelaide. Is the Adelaide connection?
Yeah, it is. It's probably not quite as good as Adelaide, but it
Doesn't need to be.
Doesn't need. But what Adelaide did to win the race?
You must be dirty. You didn't look at its data overseas.
Oh no, but the thing is, if you did that, Aaron, you'd be fucking sitting down for 55 hours looking at all of them. You know what? I'd probably rather take $5 than 50 to 1 than sit through all that shit and look at.
When was your big price? It was big price.
Oh, I think
2 weeks ago. At least double his price.
Yeah, I think he might have been.
He raced 2 weeks ago.
No,
before
like
he.
pre-post.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
But if you looked at the week ago, you obviously knew the horse was going there.
Yes. Okay.
No.
There was no query of it not being there other than it dying or something.
Can die.
That's a good way to get barred as well, Aaron. You know, being so shifty so early.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I mean, it would
like
be. It'd be nice to have known that then. But yeah, the work doesn't need so much. I mean, you'd have to then do every international that runs everywhere. So no, it's too much. Too much. So Highland Real Wind should just sit in the perfect position as the right tactical space to be in there, and
And
Ryan
is there
Moore.
danger?
It not turning up.
Yes.
So that's the danger,
So
obviously.
So
you
when it
practically
doesn't
set the
turn up-
box plates over. Can it sit 3 wide without cover? Like,
Well, I won't
Oh,
be sitting
mate.
through while we're like
That can't be that.
No, it's what's where is it? What's its name? Highland Real. It's a lightly raced 4-year-old too, but just in case you didn't care about that. Sort of, we saw what happened with Protectionist last year, and the same sort of thing. Barrier 4, it should just be right in the. I suppose the problem is then maybe it doesn't get out if they come around it, but it's a machine, so it'll go. It'll do that.
Well, that's good to hear, Dal.
Yeah,
Sorted things out for
it's
us.
sort
And
of
what are you
things that-
saying in the Manicato?
That's tonight.
That's
isn't it?
tonight, isn't it? I'll look at that later.
Oh, you haven't done that.
No.
There's only 18 races at Moonee
Yeah,
Valley and
exactly.
9 at Randwick.
Yeah, cool. All right, boys. Thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.